Hey everyone, Ansah here. I am here with Blay Armah, director, writer, actor, doing great things. And we're here to talk about a beautiful film that he directed and acted in. And it was actually filmed, or one of the scenes anyway, was filmed right here in this mansion that we are in.
Absolutely.
So we thought, how nostalgic to come back to where a scene was filmed and talk about the film. So Blay, thanks so much for joining me. I think that everybody would like to know a little bit more about yourself before we go into talking about the film. So tell us all a little bit about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. I really appreciate this opportunity. How I got into film, basically, I was at a standstill in my music career, and randomly, a friend of mine from high school reached out to me and asked if I can help her out with a script that she was writing, a short film. The theme of it was, an individual who's on house arrest and just, dealing with that struggles and going to drugs and things like that. And she heard that I was also on house arrest, right? So she thought I would be the best candidate to help her write the script. I was a little hesitant in writing the script because at that point, I never wrote a screenplay before. So that, I'm not, I don't have the tools, I don't have the experience to do this. But, I spent so many years, writing songs. I thought, these are transferable skills into writing a screenplay. Obviously, they're two completely different, pieces of work. But I thought, what? Why not? Let's just give it a shot. So I took my time, made a list of ideas, character names, the whole world, the setting. And then finally created an outline, and I'm thankful to Jazz. Shout outs to Jaskrin Gill, Jazz, aka Jazz. She gave me the time to really just, create this story. So yeah, I created the outline. Once I completed the outline, created the first draft of the screenplay, sent it to her. She loved it. She took that information and then she incorporated it into a professional screenplay. And then we're bouncing ideas off each other. And then we were ready to start, hiring the crew and go into the casting process. We got the crew. We rented out space to have casting done. We selected the actors that we felt were talented enough to play the characters. And then when we booked a day for rehearsals, when I stepped inside that room, man, and just hearing the actors, say the pieces of dialogue that I created and just responding to each other by their character names. I created these characters, I birthed them, I created this world, this whole setting to see them come to life in front of my eyes. It was just invigorating. It was just beautiful. I'm like, wow. At that moment, I realized this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Forget about music. I want to focus on creative films. So we did that, we shot the film in one weekend, Friday to Sunday. And then we premiered it the year 2020, just before the pandemic got crazy. We premiered it at Fox Theater. We filled up every seat. In fact, we even had people standing in the aisles. It was that packed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What was the name of the film?
A Close Eye.
A Close Eye.
A Close Eye.
If somebody wanted to watch it, is it available anywhere?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's on my YouTube channel.
Excellent. I want to go watch.
Yeah.
Everybody else should go watch A Close Eye.
Yeah. I'm sure we can tag the link to the film.
We absolutely will.
And yeah, it was a good reception. It was a great reception.
So you fell in love with film.
Yeah.
And now we fast forward to today. And as I said earlier, we're in the mansion where one of the scenes was shot for his new film. Yeah. Tell us about that film and the inspiration for that film, and also give us a little sneak peek of what it's about.
So I was driving home one day from work and an idea just popped in my head. you know what, it would be interesting to watch a film that, you know, revolves around single parent households. Single parent households, and just, you know, the importance of the father figure, you know, him being present, and when he's not present, when he's removed out of the home, and like how important it is to a child's development. You know, a lot of men, you know, we get a bad rep for being, you know, deadbeats, and just not being present, you know, in the child's life. Sorry. And don't get me wrong, ladies, I know there's a lot of, you know, bad fathers out there for sure, absolutely, but there's also a lot of good fathers as well, and I know
Indeed.
them. I know plenty of them who are trying. You know, it's a struggle every day. Whenever we step outside of our homes, you know, we're at war. You know, we're just trying to, like, you know, get things done and make it back home, you know, to provide.
In one piece.
In one piece. All we face is adversity, you know? So I wanted to touch on that because I know it's very common in our community.
Absolutely.
You know, us Black folks, you know, the single parent household rate is extremely high. And, you know, I also come from a single parent household myself, and it leads us to making bad decisions. It leads us into, you know, into situations that a lot of us can't get ourselves out of. Men, you know, we go into, like, you know, gangs and slinging drugs. Women, because the father figure is not there, they end up finding love elsewhere, outside of the home, and leads them into, like, you know, tough situations, abusive relationships, things like that, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I thought, you know, okay, now I'm in the film space, right? You know, I'm trying to do my due diligence. I'm trying to build up my experience. I'm trying to improve on my skill, my craft, and everything. I feel like now I have somewhat of control of the narrative for our community, or I can help improve the narrative in our community and show people, the world, the masses, that, you know, us Black folks and men, specifically to this film, like, you know, we go through a lot.
You go through a lot. I mean, as a journalist, I'm always covering stories that happens to Black men, in particular, racial profiling, police brutality. You go through a lot. You do indeed. And you know, that was one of the things that was so riveting to me about this film, because of the narrative that that you spin on this film, which I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm going to allow Blay to tell us.
Well, I'll share this, the log line. So a young man recently gets released from prison, and he finds out he has a daughter. And, you know, meeting his daughter, he's also dealing with family struggles of his own, specifically daddy issues. So it's like, how does one become a parent? How does one become the best parent possible when his own father wasn't present in his life?
Right.
He doesn't have the tools, he doesn't have the experience, he doesn't have the resources. He feels like he doesn't have anyone in his life where he can go to for advice, and get some tips, right? So he's doing this all on his own, right? And at the same time, the mother of his child doesn't really believe in him because of his past. His immediate family, they also don't really believe in him because of his past as well. But, like, he's trying, because the years that he spent incarcerated, you know, he doesn't want that anymore. He doesn't want that for his life. And now, especially finding out that he's a parent, he knows that, okay, you know, my father wasn't in my life. Okay, cool. It's not cool, but you can't do anything about it at this point. You can't change the past. You can't go back. You can't hop in a time machine and fix things. Okay, but I'm a father now.
Right.
I'm a father now. If I'm not in her life, because at this point, I feel like for every adult, our goal is to break generational curses.
Exactly.
If I'm not present in her life, she's gonna end up making the same mistakes I made when I was her age, or maybe even worse.
Yes.
So how do I prevent that from happening? I gotta be present in her life. I gotta shower her with love, attention, and care, TLC, right? And ensure that, you know, this is how a man shows love to a woman. This is how a man treats a woman, right?
Right, and this is how a man parents a daughter.
And parents a
because
daughter.
I always say, I don't come from a broken home, so, and I know how important my relationship is with my father, and I know how important it is for especially a little girl, to
Very
have
impressionable.
a father in her
Yeah.
her life. It's super important.
Super.
So, I love the premise of this film because, again, I'm trying not to spoil it. But what I can say is what you said, the log line, which is you were incarcerated, you came out, you realize you have a daughter. And you are now saying, I cannot live the life I was living. Now I'm out, I need to make it count. And this little girl, and how old is the little girl in the film?
7 years
Seven.
old. Yeah.
So that's an age, it's a very important,
very
pivotal point in a little
pivotal.
girl's life.
For sure.
So you are now breaking that, like you said, generational curse, where you're like, I'm out of jail, I have this little girl that I didn't know about, and I am going to make sure that I'm here for this little girl. That's all we can say. But what's more important to me is the messaging, which
Absolutely.
is that, a Black father who, his past doesn't dictate his future.
Absolutely.
And so we know that in our community there is a stigma. There's a lot of like absentee dads and deadbeat dads, and a lot of Black men get that bad rap, which is again why I love the fact that this movie really sends the narrative that not all Black men who have made bad mistakes in the past continue down that road.
Repeated offenders.
Correct. So that's what I love about this film. So, but now let's talk about where you grew up, which is Jane and Finch.
Jane and Finch, South Side.
So here we have somebody who grew up in Jane and Finch, but has come out of there. And we know Jane and Finch doesn't have the best reputation. But you have come out of Jane and Finch, and you're doing, you're in the film space. You're writing, you're directing, you're acting. You're living a great life.
I'm trying.
So, what was it like for you living in Jane and Finch, and how were you able to get out of there and be living the life you're living now?
Yeah, we don't have to be the product of our environment. Jane and Finch is a beautiful place, beautiful place. I had a lot of beautiful moments, good moments, and also I had a lot of dark moments, right? But I believe all of that is necessary because it builds character.
Correct.
It builds character, resilience, texture on your skin, Yeah, like I had a lot of first time experience in Jane and Finch, even things like, experiencing love, having a crush, on a girl in school, fist fights, weed, brotherhood, betrayal, dealings with the police, 31 Division. Officers, you guys know who you are.
And that's a whole other conversation with the police and Black men.
Yeah, they know who I am. But just there's fire in every corner in Jane and Finch. There's bad influences in Jane and Finch, but there's also some good influences in Jane and Finch. Some good people, good-hearted people, good intentions. People who just, just regular, go to the 9 to 5, come home and just looking to, put together a nice home-cooked meal, put on their favorite show on the TV, and just chill, sit back and relax. And just people who just stay out of the way, going after, their dreams, working towards their goals, the aspirations, just really trying to make it in life, And then you also have other individuals where, like, the things that they do, they're not doing it because they find it cool, it's out of necessity, survival.
Yeah, they feel like they don't have any other recourse.
Exactly, there's not a lot of opportunities there, resources where, like, one can thrive, not easily, right? So, like, they get into, like, slinging drugs and like doing the things that they do just to make it to make it to another morning, see another sunrise, just survive, because, the choices that they're making, it actually helps them, put food on the table,
Right.
take care of their children, their misses and things like that. A lot of people might argue it's not the best option, but it's what they have.
Right.
It's what they have, and they're gonna make the best of it. And even, the individuals, the people that I speak of that, find themselves in these spaces, the things that they do, it doesn't make them bad people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's definitely, a lot of desperation,
Yeah.
I find,
Yeah.
in those parts of Toronto,
Yeah.
and like you said, lack of resources, lack of funding, lack of a lot, in those areas. But how did you get out? And what how were you able to adopt the mindset of, I'm going to get out of here and make a better life for myself?
Well, I'm still trying to create a better life for myself, still working towards it.
But you're not in gangs.
No,
You're not a lot of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
You're not in that,
Yeah.
life, but you were a product of that environment. So what was it like? How were you able to navigate out of there and not be a part of that subset that's, in despair and like going down that road to make a quick buck and all of that stuff?
I've always had a passion for the arts, First it was music, love music, big hip hop head. Like I said, I used to rap and things like that. So like, I always, I was always trying to just focus on my talent and allow that to be my ticket out of the environment.
So you were driven and you were like, I'm not going to be that. I'm going to focus on what it is I want to do and what my talents are, which I love. And by the way, there are a lot of people that are exactly like this that happen to live in Jane and Finch. We don't want to, paint the entire Jane and Finch with a broad brush and say every single person that's in Jane and Finch or lives in Jane and Finch is just, a lost cause.
No,
so I just wanted to clear that up as well.
Thank you, and I appreciate that too. There's a lot of talented individuals in Jane and Finch, a lot, man. And I said it already. Good-hearted people, hardworking people, trying to stay out of the way, trying to go after their dreams. That's all. Again, the media plays a huge part, a massive part in portraying, Jane and Finch and Black men, period, as savages.
Indeed.
Mindless barbarians, right? Who have no goals and just out there just being destructive. That's not the case. That's not the case.
And what you're saying is really factual, because again, as a journalist, there are many Black men that I will report on that are not doing anything but minding their business. And they are being racially profiled, they're being pulled over, they're being brutalized for no reason, they're being accused of things by women that they didn't do.
Exactly.
There are many, many things that Black men are being, subjected to that can sometimes shape the way that they navigate in life.
We just get pulled over just for having this.
Oh, 100%.
That's it.
And you've gone through it.
I've gone through it so many times, just for being Black. Like growing up in Jane and Finch, just walking to school. I'm walking, I'm not even in the car. A police cruiser would just pull over and stop us, right? Because they think we're thugs. But like, I got on my uniform, my school uniform, and I'm on my way to school. And I'm being harassed by police officers. Now, when I reached the age where I was finally able to drive, it continued. It kept happening, right? Just because I'm Black.
And oftentimes what happens is that a lot of Black men will be like, well, they're gonna pull me over anyway.
I was getting there. Yeah, so I might as well just play the part.
Exactly.
I might as well just play the part and, sag my pants, pick up a gun, join a gang, smoke weed and do that, because they already portray me as this individual, as this being. So I might as well just live up to the image, right? But
exactly.
nah,
But what I love
can't do
is
that.
you did not.
No.
And there are several that did not as well.
Yep, a lot of my brothers,
Exactly.
you know,
And so that's why, and again, back to this film, that's what I love about this film is that messaging, you know, that twist at the end. It's like, you know, because you see a lot of films now, right, where you have black men and they're gangsters, you know, who end up dying in the end. Or dying,
There's always a black
dying,
guy,
right? Or
there's always a black guy that ends up dying.
or dying in the
damn it.
beginning. It's like the first person to die, like in
Yeah.
the first 10 minutes of the film, or they end up being the bad guy who ends up, you know, being the villain and then dying in the end. Or even if it's a rom-com or where there's a black character, the black character is the bad guy.
Or-
you know, or you know what I mean?
or he's that bumbling idiot, you know, like,
Right,
yeah.
who's talking like ebonics and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
street talk.
Yeah.
And so that's what I love is that in your messaging, it's like, no, we're not doing that with this film.
Yeah, because, you know, now that I'm in this space, you know, and I'm always looking for opportunities to learn, to improve on my craft, sharpen my sword, improve on my skill, now I feel like I have a responsibility. I have a duty to, like, you know, take control, create a narrative that shows black men in a better light.
I love that. I love that message.
Yeah.
And to see it in film is important, especially for a lot of the young, you know, youth and black men that are out, you know, that are out here to say, this can be the story. This can be your story.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be this way.
Yeah.
And again, you coming out of Jane and Finch and doing what you're doing in the arts, I want to also ask, as it relates to funding and things like that, did you find that it was more difficult for you as a black man trying to get funding for your films, getting grants and things like that, as opposed to maybe your counterparts that in the film industry?
Well, I've been very, very fortunate to, you know, receive grants. Shout outs to, you know, Canada Council of the Arts.
Yeah.
Not one, but two. But I have heard stories of, you know, my fellow brothers and sisters who look like me have struggles, you know, receiving grants and things like that. I've heard the stories, and they do exist, of course, 100%. But for me, I did my due diligence, you know. I worked my ass off.
And for black people, you have to do the work
Extra,
tenfold.
Yes.
Tenfold.
Yes.
So it can be a project that's, we like to refer to by one of the folks, that may not even be as good as yours. But you have to work 10 times as hard.
10 times harder than our counterparts, because again, you know, we wear this and we should
Coming
be proud
into
of
the
it.
door,
We should
you're
be proud of
already
it.
like, we need 20, not 10.
At the back of the line, at the
Yeah.
back of the line, at the back of the race, right? So you have to work your ass off. You have to put in that work, right? You have to go out there and find opportunity. And that applies into the film industry, the music industry, any industry, right? Under the
gotta do the
sun.
work.
You have to do the work. So like, we're talking about grants, like, yes, it is difficult, but like, go out, find and hire a grants writer, right? Learn how to properly fill out a grant application, create a log line to your film, you know, a synopsis, create a pitch deck.
You
you
gotta
know-
bring it. You literally have to have it coming into the room.
Exactly.
You have to bring it. As black people, we have to bring it. And we know it. And it is frustrating. We know it's frustrating, it's hard, but that's the reality that we face. Whether or not that will ever change, doubtful. So we have to really adopt that mindset of, we already know it. So when you put in the work, it can pay off.
Yeah.
And in your case, it did pay off. You got 2 grants. You got this beautiful film in the can. You know, and I'm sure that you'll be doing more.
Oh yeah, I actually got 3 films in the can right now.
3 films?
3 films in post-production that I directed and wrote the scripts to all 3. And God willing, 2026, I should be able to premiere all 3 films at once and submit all 3 films into the film festival. So that's my goal. And yeah, you have to apply yourself.
It'll be 10 times harder for us.
But because we know it's difficult because we have this,
Right.
we shouldn't allow it to discourage us.
And that's the other thing that sometimes happens. Like
Yeah.
we tend to have that defeatist attitude
Yeah.
of they're going to say no anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to bother. I'm
Yeah.
just going to go in the street.
Yeah.
I'm going to go run the streets, you know, or you hear one no and it's like, well, it's because I'm black, so that's it, I'm done.
No,
and I'm
no.
not trying to minimize it or simplify it because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
But I'm very much of the mindset of if they don't invite you to the table, go buy your own table.
Exactly.
Work to buy your own.
Yeah,
If they close the
build your
door
own
on you,
table.
go back
Absolutely.
and buy the building.
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
kind of my mindset. That's why I left the corporate plantation because I was tired of, you know, sitting down and somebody saying to me, "Thank you, here's your 2%," or "You're not getting anything this year." You know what I mean? And it's like, wait, we're not. I'm taking my talents and I'm going to build my own.
Just like LeBron James when he took his talents to South Beach, Miami, right?
Yeah.
You got to adopt that mindset, you
Yeah,
know?
Tyler Perry. You know, I'll build my own production studio.
Facts.
So this
50
is
Cent. Like there's so many
Exactly.
individuals that we can name. So like
Exactly.
because yes, we know it's difficult being black. We shouldn't allow it to discourage us. We should be proud. We should be proud and continue the journey, continue to fight because it builds character. And once we finally get over that mountain, that hump, we're gonna realize, man, it was all worth it. And that's
Exactly.
life. That's the journey,
That is life,
you know?
and that's the reality of Black
Yeah.
life. If you had to speak to some youth, just even let's just say going back to Jane Finch, you know what it was like out there. You know what some of the young men are up to and getting into. If you had to look at them and say to them today, give them some words of encouragement, look at the camera and what would you say to them?
Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to believe in yourself. There's going to be a lot of individuals, friends, people you grew up with, even family members that don't believe in you, that doubt, that think you're crazy. Use that as an opportunity to prove them wrong. Don't be afraid to do what you love, right? And I know it's easier said than done, but it's true. Like once you adopt the mindset where like you no longer care about what other people think of you or the things that you're into, man, it brings so much power. So much power. Because you have to realize we live once. I know it's kind of cliche, but it's true. I've lost so many people in my life. I know a lot of people who are incarcerated right now. Man, the fact that you're above ground and you're not in, a 4x4 room, like use this as an opportunity to go after your dreams, work towards your goals. And like, it's gonna be extremely difficult. It is. It's gonna be hard, man. You're gonna experience a lot of doors being shut in your face. You're gonna hear a lot of no's.
You're going to get a lot of racial profiling,
Racial
systemic racism. You'll go through it.
It's a part of it. It's a part of the journey. Just don't give up. I mean, I'm still trying to like achieve my goals. I'm still, going after my dreams. Now that I thank God I found this space, this industry that I'm so passionate about, that I love, every single day I'm looking for opportunities to learn, to become a better director, writer, actor as well. But I'm so thankful that I found this space and I found this love, and I believe it's my purpose. You have to find your purpose. Don't settle, right? And idle time is dangerous. It's for the weak. Make use of your time. Go after your goals. Go after your dreams, man, because once you find that open door to success, man, it's gonna be worth it. So believe in yourself, believe in God, and just know that, you know, we all have a gift, we all have a talent, we just have to tap into it, we have to find it. And if you're fortunate enough to find your purpose, man, once you do, don't stop serving. Don't stop, you know, delivering that purpose.
I echo everything that Blay says. And what I'll also say is, you know, your past does not have to dictate your future. You can let go of the heavy attachment of your past.
Absolutely.
And, you know, make your future count. Yeah. And I always say, when we're no longer above ground, it's our youth that's going to be the ones forging forward. Yeah. So it's really what we can impart on them and empower them to do. And Blay is a perfect example of coming from not the best of circumstances, you know, all of the stereotypes, the broken home, you know, living in the hood, and you know, he's out here doing it. So we can all do it. And yes, absolutely, it will never be easy for a Black person in this here country. It won't. But you know, it's about that entrepreneur spirit, that entrepreneur mentality, and really tapping into your talents. Because I always say, we as Black people, we are brilliant.
Man, we're innovators.
We are beyond.
And
the folks know it. The folks know it.
Come on, you guys
Why
watch
do you
TV.
think?
You guys are on social media.
Right.
They're copying us.
They're
dressing
everything.
They're using our slang. You know.
Everything.
They're entering surgical procedures to look like our women. You know, like. We are the leaders of the culture, of the whole world, man. We dictate what's cool. We're the trendsetters, man. So it's like, use that information, take that and just run with it. You know, use it to your advantage, man. We're in this space, you know, we're all adults. We have to be mindful that the younger generation is watching every move.
Yes.
Right? So we have to be, you know, mindful of the decisions that we make, the moves that we make, right? Because the younger generation, the youth, they're watching every single move. So we want to inspire, right? We don't want to lead the younger generation astray. Like, we gotta, you know, in order to make a change in our community, it's not gonna happen overnight. We gotta change ourselves. That's where it starts.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
And I can't thank you enough, Blay. Again, I'm gonna say, for her, look out for this film. I will definitely be sharing that information once we know when the premiere is going to be and everything else.
Appreciate that.
I will be there on that red carpet as well.
Have it any other way.
And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing this movie. And I'm going to just say this. I'm putting it out there. Hollywood.
Oh, man. God
TIFF,
willing.
Toronto International Film Festival.
God willing.
Venice Film Festival.
God willing.
Tribeca Film Festival.
God willing.
Toronto Pan-African Film Festival. He's going to Hollywood, okay? I am predicting it. You heard it from me. You heard it from me today.
And if they don't let me in, I'm breaking down the door.
Yeah, we're just going to go buy it.
You know?
But thank you so much, Blay.
Thank you
Thank you
for having me.
It's been
a
pleasure.
Likewise.
Take care.